The reason they felt they needed to do that, Jesse, is because if they told their audience the truth, that when gas is the most expensive it's been, flights are super expensive, that 5,000 kids decided to spend a weekend in summer traveling across the country to go hear from conservative speakers, maybe the audience of The View would think twice about all of their ideas. That's why they felt so compelled to try to smear our wonderful summit this last weekend.
Yeah, they have nothing else to talk about. Maybe you should get the lawyer that worked on that Covington Catholic school case. What was that, a $200 million settlement? I think, Charlie, you could use the money.
When Charlie, Kirk, and Megyn Kelly joined forces in a recent debate, things quickly got intense. Their strong opinions took center stage, and Sunny Host found herself in a hot seat. It felt more like a heated talk showdown than discussion. And it was clear both Megyn and Charlie came ready to make their points loud, and clear Megyn delivered her arguments with sharp focus, while Charlie didn't hold back either. As for Sunny, she seemed caught off guard by the tone and energy of the conversation. This wasn't just a lively debate, it was a direct and pointed exchange of ideas that left a lasting impression. You'll want to watch how it all played out and decide for yourself who made the strongest case.
Gross elitism and her complete out-of-touch nature with respect to the rest of the world. Sunny Hostin goes on The View and decides now would be a great time to dump all over the so-called uneducated.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men were not the story here, because they voted.
Hostin often presents herself with strong confidence, taking firm stands on the issues she believes and she speaks, as though she's defending important values. But sometimes her arguments don't hold up well when challenged by facts or opposing viewpoints. While she appears her position, critics argue that her points often lack the depth or strength needed in serious debate.
Didn't go to college doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. You can go to college and get a bunch of irrelevant facts about how men can allegedly give birth or whatever they teach. But I said this to our team. I said working people, the muscular class, including working women, they are so in favor of Trump, and they don't want to be called stupid.
But Sunny Host's arguments didn't go unchallenged. Charlie, Kirk, and Megyn Kelly offered strong counterpoints from different sides of the media world, and they didn't need a live debate to make an impact together. They highlighted the weaknesses in her commentary with clear and direct responses. While Sunny focused on familiar talking points, Charlie and Megyn provided a sharp contrast that caught a lot of attention.
CEO of Turning Point USA and the author of the new book, The College Scam. So, Charlie, do you accept The View's apology?
I mean, regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there of high school and college kids. And look, I get attacked all the time. People say false things. I'm a public figure. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be...
Let's take a look at Sunny Host's role in the media. She often presents herself as a strong moral voice, confidently expressing her views with passion and intensity. But while her delivery is powerful, critics argue that her arguments sometimes rely more on emotion than solid reasoning. Her commentary often focuses on criticizing conservatives, and while she's quick to speak out, some have pointed out inconsistencies in her positions over time.
That's the point of an apology. We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse, and by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this, and as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it, but we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids. And then
Hostin has a way of expressing outrage that seems to shift depending on the situation. When an issue aligns with her political views, it often gets full attention. But when it doesn't, it may be quietly set aside. The selective focus has led some to question whether her commentary is driven more by politics than by consistent principles. Then came Charlie Kirk, known for his direct approach. He didn't engage in loud debate or personal attacks. Instead, he presented facts, timelines, and specific examples to challenge Sunny's claims. While Sunny criticized conservatives in broad terms, Kirk focused on pointing out inconsistencies in her arguments. His message was clear. The passion Sunny shows may not always be about standing up for what's right. It might sometimes be more about maintaining a particular image.
Specifically, they're referring to the women, but of course, it's the non-college educated men as well who voted for Donald Trump. And the nerve of this woman to whom the country has given so much to try to dump on people who didn't go to college. Look at you. Look at your achievements. How do you like the so-called uneducated?
Charlie Kirk highlighted how Sunny Hostin often addresses political extremism, selectively calling out when it comes from the other side, but staying quiet when it aligns with her own views. He brought up voting records, past statements, and consistent patterns that raise serious questions about whether her strong positions are truly based on principle or just part of broader culture war strategy. Then Megyn Kelly stepped in, calmly presenting detailed examples to back up those claims she laid out the facts with the clarity and precision of someone who wasn't interested in drama. Just truth. Kirk's approach was bold and direct. He didn't need a dramatic moment to make his point. He simply exposed inconsistencies in Holin's messaging on extremism. The core criticism was this: while Sunny often speaks out forcefully against conservative rhetoric, she appears far less vocal when similar issues arise on her own side. And what Kirk and Kelly both revealed was a pattern of selective outrage, where strong words are used when convenient, but silence follows when the same standards could apply closer to home.
I think she went to Binghamton undergrad, and she went to Notre Dame Law School, which is a great law school. Her son right now is at Harvard. That son she wants us to think is sitting there oppressed, who she's got to fight on behalf of because America is so awful to him. They're educating him right now at Harvard University. And Jason, would you take a look at this? Because I want to guess, I haven't been to your house down in Tennessee, but I want to guess it doesn't look like this. This is Sunny Hostin's home in this shitty country that she can't stand, that doesn't treat black people like Sunny well. She let People magazine feature her home. Look at this dump. This country sucks. She went to Notre Dame Law School. She makes millions on The View. Her son's at Harvard. I'm sure her daughter's at private school on her way to some Ivy League. This is where Sunny lives. And F off, America. I can't stand how you've kept us all in chains.
When conservatives at Man are at the center of controversy, she responds quickly and strongly. But when similar behavior emerges from those on her political side, she tends to stay silent. Kirk argued that this pattern isn't just inconsistency, it's part of strategy. According to him, Sunny's expressions of outrage seem more aligned with political messaging than with principle. He pointed out that her reactions often track with what's likely to resonate with her audience rather than being based on a consistent standard of justice. His critique wasn't about theatrics, it was about exposing a larger issue: how commentary can sometimes be shaped more by audience appeal than by truth. In Kirk's view, Sunny's passionate stance on justice may not always be about deeply held beliefs, but rather about delivering a message designed for maximum impact.